In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 strategies, 4 important elements of becoming a better coach. You know as well as I do that the number one leadership initiative within any organization today is improved coaching. If you're leading a remote team, you understand that getting things done has changed. And how you go about creating leadership in the context of the new normal requires an emphasis and a focus on effective coaching skills. So what are those 4 elements that can help you to become a better coach? The first thing that you have to understand about coaching is focus. When you are coaching an employee or a team member, where you put your attention is where you will find your results. The results that you are looking for, where are they going to come from? Asking the employee, the team member, to take ownership is the key to beginning the coaching conversation. And that points to the second part of coaching, and that is permission. What can you do to help your employee be more receptive to seeing things in a new way and to making their own discoveries? I'll share with you in just a moment how you can help people to open up the conversation and open up their perspective, because from that place of a new perspective, well, that's where you find new ideas. To be clear though, the coaching conversation is really about transformation. It's not about incremental improvement, although in some cases you can see incremental improvement as a result of the coaching conversation. But coaching is really about going after the big goals. Coaching is really about helping people to create transformation and leading through change. Well, what has the new normal brought us? Change, and probably more of it than we're interested in. And yet, here we are. So, how can you help people to lead through change? Well, as I've said, permission, receptivity is key. Making sure that you have been clear about your focus and your intention in the coaching conversation. Who sets the agenda for the coaching conversation? Well, the answer is it's a mutual agenda, isn't it? It has to be something that you are interested in as the coach, but also that the employee has expressed a vested interest in seeing new results. From that perspective, that mutual focus on those new results, that's how 2 minds can come together to find new ideas. Because as the saying goes, none of us is as smart as all of us. And sometimes the only thing that's preventing you from seeing your blind spot is another perspective. And that's the perspective that the coach provides. That perspective is just that. It's a viewpoint that, if you're doing it right, exists outside of bias and even outside of belief. An effective coach looks in the direction of the way things are. And by looking in that direction, you can help your team member, your employee, to see things in a new way. It's not about having to believe in yourself. It's not about trying to get your employee to believe in the prettiest lie you can think of so that he or she is motivated to take the steps that you need. That's not motivation, that's manipulation. No, coaching is about agreement. And that agreement is the third thing that you have to understand about the coaching conversation. What is it that you need your employee, your team member to agree to? What is the agreement that would be most useful? An agreement around the way things are or the way things are going to be. What can you share that shows you're interested in a mutual agreement? Because that mutual agreement means that there's mutual ownership. Accountability in the coaching conversation is different than the accountability in a management conversation, because in a management conversation, who holds the accountability? Now, you may say, oh, the employee holds the accountability. They're accountable for the tasks. But ultimately, if they don't get it done, that's going to reflect poorly on the manager. And the manager actually is the one who's ultimately responsible. In the coaching conversation, accountability rests with the employee. Why? Because if they don't own the results, if they don't take ownership of those results, your agreement doesn't mean much. And when you create ownership in the context of agreement, you earn the right as a coach to ask the accountability question. Where are you regarding the objectives that you said were so important? What happened regarding the steps that you said you were going to take, that you agreed to take? You see, it's not the manager's words, it's not instruction that's being debated or even called into question. No, you're going beyond instruction to find inspiration. That sounds a little lofty. Think about it. What do you call the things that motivate you? Do you say that you are inspired to do something? Well, typically you say that if you're passionate about it, if you care about it. Again, coaching may not be the right approach to make sure that you get that inventory report on Thursday. But if you're looking to lead teams through change, and especially if you're managing remote teams right now, how can you make every conversation matter, especially when those conversations are about how to navigate the new normal and the kind of behavior that you know your employees want to tap into, the behavior that your organization needs. The fourth thing that you need to bring into the coaching conversation, if you want to be good at it, is listening. Yeah, listening. You have to listen in new ways. Typically, when we listen to another person, there are three ways to listen, and you may be familiar with these ways. The first way to listen is to listen to affirm. In other words, we're listening to confirm our own bias, our own education, our own experience, right? It's listening to someone and saying, oh yes, I think what he's saying reminds me of something I read from Stephen Covey. Yes, yes. And by listening to affirm, we confirm our own point of view. It's listening to make ourselves feel better, but we aren't really making any progress in the conversation. The second way to listen is the way that attorneys listen, right? In the legal system, that adversarial legal system that we have, attorneys listen to defend, right? They're listening to take an angle, to counterpunch, to find a point of weakness and a place of attack. And sometimes you have to listen to defend because you have a point of view that you feel is being attacked. But when we feel like we're being attacked, we close ourselves off to possibilities. And what that means is that the conversation can take on some limitations very quickly. The coaching conversation isn't about limitation, it's about expansion. The coaching conversation is about new perspectives, and that means that there's a third way to listen, and that is to listen to discover. When we listen to discover, we're always looking for something new, something that we have not heard before, something that we might be able to see differently, and that different perspective is the first step in finding different results. How can you listen to discover? And by extension, how can you share that understanding with your employee, your teammate, your team member, person who's being coached, who's looking for new results? As I said before, none of us is as smart as all of us. And so when two minds come together, two minds look in a singular direction, they have two different perspectives. Which perspective is right, which perspective is wrong is not the issue. Looking at the way things are, looking in the direction of a deeper understanding. That understanding is what is needed now more than ever in the coaching conversation. Why? Because there's something that's inhibiting the behavior and the innovation and the results that you need. And that something that's blocking those results is a misunderstanding of some kind. What is it? That's what the coaching conversation is about. It's about unlocking misunderstandings, seeing things in a new way. It's not about being right or about winning the conversation. It's about making new discoveries. That's the mutual victory that a coach can help to uncover. And that's how these four principles can help you in the coaching conversation. That's what leaders do, and that's what effective coaches do. Because from that place of clarity comes a fresh viewpoint. And I hope that this viewpoint, my perspective, has helped you to become a better coach. My name is Chris Westfall. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to talking with you again very, very soon.